Right, my friends, yes, I'm at the Ace Cafe in London with my electric car. There's something not right about that, isn't there? Having an iconic cafe like this, with all the motorcycles that come here and all the classic cars, and sticking an electric car in the car park. However, saying that, they do have an electric car charging point over there. If you want to see the breakfast from here, by the way, that's in a future vlog. Now, before we start, I want to thank everybody well, the thousands and thousands of people that commented on my last EV video about the end of my PCP period on my Porsche Taycan Electric Car. And I'd got three options. One was to pay 12 grand and give the car back and have nothing. The other one was to actually purchase the car and refinance it basically with them, but that would be at 50,000, and then basically the car's only worth 20,000. Or another one would be to go to Porsche, and they offered me a deal and they'd give me a brand new Porsche and I'd pay slightly less than this one, so I'd be better off doing that. The outcome of all the comments, there were really some were quite rude and a bit cutting, but most of them were really nice and very helpful. I think the majority of people actually said that option 3 was the best, to take it back to Porsche, let them pay off what was owed on it and have another Taycan. But there were also other people saying, if you have another electric car, you hypocrite, I shall unsubscribe. But then I thought to myself, well, if I don't have another electric car because you subscribed because of the electric car, what are you going to watch? Because I highly doubt that you're the kind of person that watches my food videos or travel videos. So, you know, and I would say to the people that say, I'm going to unsubscribe, I'm just going to say, it's not an airport. You don't need to announce your departure. I hope that these electric car videos, it's a long intro this, by the way, these electric car videos that I've actually produced over the last 4 years has given people some kind of insight into the reality of EV ownership. And it's been a journey, and a lot of people have actually joined me on that journey right from the start of when I actually bought this car and picked it up, which I documented on YouTube, to the point of not knowing where to charge, not knowing what to do, worrying about the infrastructure and finding out that the infrastructure isn't there yet. Well, the infrastructure now over the last 4 years, I will say, has improved, and along with it, electric cars have also improved. The Taycan, the new Taycan has improved. By the way, I said in the last video the charging time's doubled. What I meant was the charging time has halved, so it is quicker. It's twice as fast to charge the new Taycan as it is compared to the older first generation that I have here. And also it just charges quicker. And it gets a longer range as well. You get, I think, nearly 390 miles, I can't remember what it is, but mega range. And I took it for a test drive, and the actual regen on it as well, they've improved that. So when you put the regen on, it's putting power back into the battery again and charge back into the battery. So there we have it. So I would like to thank each and every one of you who's actually commented on the video, and hopefully, I'm not sure what option I'm going to go for yet, but whichever option I go for, hopefully, if I do go for another electric car, that you will join me on that journey. And I know there are going to be people that call me a hypocrite, but if it is the best choice for me to take and the most financially viable, and also it gives me something to actually film and document again, and to see how a lot of people have actually said this. Hear me out. A lot of people have actually said this. It would be interesting to see how the Gen 2 performs on the same journeys that I've actually done. I'm trying to think for the words. On the same journeys that I've actually done and challenges that I've actually done compared to Gen 1. So how it's improved. Like I could do John O'Groats to Land's End again with Jeff Buys Cars against the diesel car. Would the Gen 2 beat him where the Gen 1 didn't? And has the infrastructure improved in the last 3 years since I've done that journey, or whatever time it may be? So there we go. Anyway, I've had a letter from Porsche of which the title of this video is about, and it looks like they've given in with let me run the intro, and then I'm going to get in the car because I'm leaving here. I've got to get back to Nottingham. It's only going to be a quick video saying that the intro's been the longest ever. Join me on the journey back to Nottingham and we'll have a quick chat. I've got to charge up at Milton Keynes again because I need to get to Nottingham and then Leeds. So do me a favour though, if you are new to the channel, and it means a lot, it is free, it doesn't cost you a penny, just hit the subscribe button. Maybe you've followed me on my journey for the last 4 years in this electric car. It doesn't cost a penny and it helps the channel get out there and be pushed out there and hopefully educate people about electric cars. And I know sometimes I'm a bit of a goof and a bit of a buffoon trying to bring a bit of comedy into it, but on the serious side of it, it is quite interesting for people who are interested in electric cars or people who hate electric cars. It gives an insight into what the true reality is like. So just hit the thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button. Now, without further ado, my friends, let's go. Right, let's get on the road now then. Which way am I going here? This one's going to be an interesting one actually. I'm heading up to Nottingham and I thought I was going to have to charge at Milton Keynes, but it might be that I can charge at Porsche Nottingham, which is going to be interesting because I can nip in there and have a word with Martin, my mate there, the finance guy, and have a chat about this new Porsche deal that they've offered me. Anyway, just bear with me. We've got 140 miles of range and 120, good grief, I'm sure the speed bumps get bigger. I have to keep putting the suspension up, and 120 miles to get there, and they've got fast chargers at Porsche Nottingham, so we may be able to get there in one go.
To North Circular Road.
Oh, missed the turning now. Give me a minute. Right, okay, now I can concentrate. So 138 miles of range, 190 miles to go to get to Porsche Nottingham. Now, I did a video about a month ago, I think it was, don't quote me on that, and it was about the fact, and many of you will have seen it, that the battery on this car, that people were getting letters for their Porsche Taycan saying don't charge your car past 80% because the battery could catch fire. In fact, the initial letter for that said don't park your car next to a building because it could set fire to the building if the car sets on fire. And what they needed to do, they were sending out letters then to say that they wanted to put some software onto your car, which I had done, and they monitor your battery and they monitor the charging, but they do advise that you don't charge it past 80% because then that way it's more dangerous. And then what they said they was going to do is they was going to put some more software on it just to monitor it. However, it looks like Porsche have finally given in now, because initially they weren't going to replace any of the battery cells on the car. Now, I had a letter about a month ago, which I'll read you when I get to Porsche Nottingham, about this. So I'll read that letter. I can't read it now, obviously I'm driving, but it's in my bag in the boot, so I shall read that to you. And I had that letter that everybody else was having, and it was an updated version of it, so let me read that to you. But now it turns out that on the Porsche forums people are starting to get letters saying that they're going to Porsche thinks I'm talking to it. Porsche have now said that they're going to replace the battery cells on the car. So basically you can have a new battery, a refreshed battery, and a couple of people have actually had this done, and they said they've got extended range on the car, so it's kind of interesting. Now if that's the case, I get the letter to say, yeah, replace the battery cells on the car before my PCP is up in September. I'll still have it done anyway, because then whoever gets this car next, if that's the route I go down, then the car will be done for them. So it's a bit of a bonus, and I guess it's a selling point as well. So I shall read that letter to you when I get to Porsche Nottingham. I just want to get on the M1 now and get out of London, and I'm having to remind myself to pay that congestion charge, because I've not paid the congestion charge in the last 4 years that I've had this car, because it's been completely free. I say completely, you had to pay I think 20 quid or something for the year, or 12 quid, I can't remember what it was, some really low figure, to be exempt from the congestion charge. Well, EVs are no longer exempt from the congestion charge. This is my final year of free road tax on the Porsche Taycan as well, because they've taken that from you. And as I've said, it's been a learning curve having this car, and hopefully people who've watched the channel have actually learned with me about electric cars, and to see what it's actually like owning one. And it has got easier as I've got to the 4th year of ownership with it, and I think that's down to the fact of knowing a little bit more about the charging infrastructure, and knowing where the chargers are, because I go all over the UK, etc. And also the infrastructure getting better, and also knowing the car more and knowing when to charge and at the right times. So you do learn, but as I say, it is a learning curve, and it does take a lot of enjoyment out of the driving. Anyway, let's hit the road, get up to Nottingham. I'll read you this letter. I don't want this to be the longest video in the world, so let's hit that road and get on the M1. You do feel a sense of sort of like, what's the word? I can never get my words. A sense of relief when you hit the M1 North and you leave London. Yes, freedom! I'm back on the M1 North and out of London. Must remember to pay my congestion charge. Anyway, so where was I? About the battery. So I'm gonna have the battery done. I'll read you the letter about that, and we'll get to that point as well. And as I said at the start of the video, thanks for the thousands of messages that I've had. Also, somebody had put the £12,000 that I'm going to have to give the PCP company to give the car back. They said, I'm sure that your accountant can write that off against tax. Well, I've actually had a word with my accountant, and yes, I can write that off against tax. That would leave me without a car, and then if I went and got a petrol 911, which I would really like in my heart of hearts, I'm not sure where that would leave the channel as in content, because a lot of people have actually subscribed to the channel to see what it's like to own an electric car, to see the real world use of electric cars, and to show what that's like. And I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed doing all the different challenges with Jeff Buys Cars, doing John O'Groats to Land's End, doing sunrise to sunset, from east to west, chasing the sun, going down to Benidorm against him in his Volvo petrol car, etc. It's been an absolute blast, and I've learned things as well. I've learned that, for instance, France have a far better infrastructure than the UK do. I've also learned that if you're actually going to do a journey like that, use the actual onboard Porsche navigation system, which actually plans your route for you, the best possible route, primes your battery for charging, so it cools it or heats it or whatever, to the optimum temperature so that you actually get faster charges, and also tells you how much percentage to put in along the way to give you the quickest possible way to get to your destination. So I've learnt all these different things, and I'm hoping that you, the viewers out there, have also learnt the downfalls and also the pluses of owning an electric car. I mean, the pluses are, if you charge at home, it's a lot cheaper, and you've got a lot more torque as well. So I've gone through all these things. We're actually going to be doing another John O'Groats to Land's End again next month, myself and Jeff buys cars. He says, I want to do it again in a different car. Now, I'll still have this car, I think, at that point in time. And I said, well, I'll do it with my Porsche navigation system, and I'll see now I'm more experienced whether I can actually beat you this time and do it with less stress. But I've also been in touch with an EV company that rents out electric cars on a day-to-day basis, and let me know this in the comment section. They rent out, they've got Teslas, they've got Taycans. I'll put a link to their website in the description down below and have a look. Excuse me, I've had breakfast at Ace. They've got Taycans, they've got BMWs, so they've got all. I mean, it'd be interesting to do it in a Tesla, because everybody keeps saying, should have got a Tesla. I'd be interested to do it in a Tesla. I did ring them to see whether they'd got a Gen 2 Taycan or not, to see whether I could do it in that, because I figured that'd be quite interesting. Have a look on their website and let me know in the comment section what car you'd like me, what EV you'd like me to do it in against Jeff Buys Cars doing John O'Groats to Land's End. And we'd set off immediately as it got light to try and do it in one day. Jeff Buys Cars!
MacMaster!
How are you?
I'm very well. I'm out on a little road trip. Where are you?
I'm leaving London. I'm heading to Porsche Nottingham. Quick question for you, Jeff. We're doing John O'Groats to Land's End again next month. I'm going to try and do it in a different EV. If not, I'll have to do it in this one. But I reckon this time, now I'm more knowledgeable, I think I could beat you.
Do you actually think you can?
I actually do, because in 4 years, I think, and you'll agree on this, I've actually gained more knowledge on how to use the infrastructure, and the infrastructure has got better.
Right, so your edge in this new challenge is your knowledge.
My knowledge and the infrastructure's got better, but I'm also trying to get an electric car from an electric car rental company, which I'll put in the description down below. But also, Jeff, I asked the people and the viewers what I should do. Should I pay 12 grand to give my car back? Should I and have no car? Should I buy the car? Or should I go to Porsche Nottingham and accept their deal and have a Gen 2 Porsche Taycan? A lot of people, well, about 4 people said, I'm going to unsubscribe if you do that. And I just said, it's not an airport, you don't need to announce your departure.
Amazing. So, what was the general feeling from your subscribers then on what you should do?
I'd say 98% of the subscribers who are watching now said, I'd be really interested if you got a Gen 2 to see what it's like compared to the Gen 1. You could do all the challenges that you've done with the Gen 1 in the Gen 2. And that was the majority of the subscribers. And I thought that'd be quite interesting. We could do exactly the same that we've done, but to see how it's progressed, the technology.
I think you might be right there. I mean, let's be honest, Porsche have got you by the short and curlies with the finance on that thing anyway. So it'd be interesting to see, you know, what the Gen 2 is like and if they've improved it, and if, you know, your indicators keep fogging up.
My indicators haven't fogged up since the last time they replaced them, so that's been good. So but there we go. So yeah, what do you think? Do I get another Taycan, or do I just go back to petrol? I can't see me with a petrol. I mean, I seem to be the man with the Taycan now.
You do seem to be the man with the Taycan. It's a bit of a brand that you've made for yourself. It would be strange if you didn't have one. I'd just be worried about what colour you're going to go for.
Iced grey.
Iced grey?
Ice grey, yeah. It's funny because I was on a one of them e-bikes yesterday in London, the rental one, the Lime ones, and I was riding through London, and if he's watching, there was a guy in a high-vis vest near the Horse Guards or Kensington Palace, and he shouted, "MacMaster, how's the Taycan?" I thought, that's just weird.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you couldn't reply with, "Oh, I sold it and got a BYD." It's not going to work, is it?
No, it wouldn't work. So there we go. What shall I do, Jeff?
I think you should get the Gen 2 Taycan, and I'll lend you a diesel Volvo when it breaks.
Brilliant. Stay there. Onwards, my friends. Right, little update for you. We're nearly at Nottingham now. I've not filmed loads of footage in between. So we've got 39 miles of range, 16% of battery, and 12 miles to get to Porsche Nottingham. I'll say it properly. Porsche. It's Porsche if you want to be, you know, posh. So we're going to get there, charge up. Oh, please check ranges. Just come on. Always makes me nip buttons off the seat when that comes on. Anyway, what I was going to say is I've just come back from London, as you know, and I was on the electric bike, hire bikes, the Lime bikes, and riding around London. And people have said, when I've done these electric car videos, and I said, oh, you know, I'd like a 911, they've gone, oh, you're polluting the environment, blah, 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 it's bad for the children to breathe in, whatever. And I've always been a little bit sarcastic with that and said, oh, you know, what a load of rubbish. However, I will say around town, I was riding around, there was buses that weren't electric, there was a lot of electric buses, by the way. Where am we going here? And being on a bike all day, I was biking around filming loads of videos, it actually gets on your chest. And when I got back to the hotel on the evening, my hair felt filthy from all the fumes and all the dirt. So I have to say now, around town, really, as I've said before, they're ideal for around town. It's just your long journeys. And that's where, again, it comes in, and I've said it all along, and I've never changed my theme about that, or my, you know, I've always said it should be about choice. So we should be able to have petrol cars. So 2035 should be scrapped. We should be able to have petrol cars, diesel cars, and electric. Have what you want. You imagine if somebody said to you, you're not allowed to have an Android phone anymore. Why? You can only have an Apple. Well, yeah, but I don't want that. I want an Android. Yeah, that's it. You can't. We've just said we're not allowing it anymore. So that is where it's wrong. So yeah, so it's quite interesting. Anyway, I'm going to charge up, and I'll read you this letter, and I'll let you know what Porsche have now decided to do regarding the battery, etc. And I'll let you onto that. One last question before. She's literally gone over on a red line. One last, it's a BMW driver. It's not even indicating. And do BMWs have indicators? Anyway, quick question for you, and pop it in the comment section down below. Again, let's not be sarcastic. Let's just, you know, this channel's light-hearted. It's supposed to give you a bit of laugh, bit of education, bit of fun, and a bit of a giggle. Who would like to see me get the Gen 2 Taycan and compare it and do all the different things again that I've done in this, and actually see whether it's any better and whether it's improved? Just pop it in the comment section down below. Right, only a few more miles to go, so onwards, my friends. Ratcliffe-on-Trent Power Station. Iconic towers, those. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, they are being knocked down thanks to Ed Miliband. Ed Miliband. I like that. I think that should be, we should start a trend there. Ed Miliband. I like it. I don't know where that come from. Right, here I am, Porsche Nottingham. I'm going to go and charge up, and then I'll read you this letter and also the update of about what Porsche are going to do now regarding the battery, etc. And then I'll finish up the video, and then I'm going to go in and see my mate Martin, who is the finance guy here at Porsche Nottingham, and he's going to tell me a little bit more about what options I've got. So keep your fingers crossed for me, and I'll keep you updated on that one in a future video. But again, thank you so much for all the comments and all your advice that you've been giving me. But as I say, 98% of them said, do the option 3, I want to see you in another Taycan. I think you just want to see me suffer, don't you, for the next 4 years? Setting up communication with the car, I always say that, don't I? Authenticating. Ooh. Authentication successful. Let's plug it in. Right, plug it in here. There we go. Sorted. Right, where's my next car? Just kidding. Charging error. You can't write this, can you? Let's try again. Right, unplug it. There we go. And pop it back in again. There we go. And let's try authenticating it again. Where's my card? Error before I've started again. What's going on? You cannot write this. Now, some people will say I've made this up for the video, but I haven't. The gentleman's just moved the white Porsche for me. My new car. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. It's in preparation. There we go. Let's get this one round. Oh, you can't write this, can you? Here we go. Come on, let's get in. I'm just trying to straighten it up, just so I can plug it in that side there. There we go. Right. Let's try again. Milk float off. Here we go. Right. Here we go. Fingers crossed. Please authenticate. I've done that once. He's making this up for camera. Yeah, of course I am, because I can control the machines. Preparing. 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 There's a lot of preparation, isn't there? Preparing. Come on. Charging in progress. Right, let me go and tell you what this letter is and what Porsche have proposed. Right, so basically Porsche had a important safety recall for the batteries, of which letters were sent out, and I eventually got my letter. And what they have to do is you have to take your car in, they put a piece of software on it, and if you can't have the software on it, you have to bring it in every 30 days or whatever for Porsche to check to make sure that the batteries are safe so it doesn't set fire, etc. However, on the Porsche forums, because I'm on all the Facebook forums, etc., there's letters now going out here where it says Important Safety Recall is a copy of it. Free Taycan battery module replacement now available at your Porsche centre. Important Safety Recall, free Taycan battery module replacement now available at your Porsche centre. Porsche have decided that a defect which relates to motor vehicle safety exists in certain 20 to 23 Porsche Taycan vehicles, which is that. Porsche Taycan vehicles. Our records show that you are the owner of the vehicle affected by this action. The recall repair is now available free of charge. Please contact your Porsche centre as soon as possible. So basically they've now given in and they've said that they'll just replace the battery modules, which is great news because it looks like Porsche have given in, and I'm going to get ultimately a new battery module for it, so that will be excellent. So once this car goes to the next person, there won't be any issues with the batteries in it, so that's good news. Right, well, this is now charging. It's going to be charged in about 20 minutes. I'm going to head in there now, have a word with the finance guy Martin, a good mate of mine. Porsche Nottingham, by the way, are excellent. I've had all my Porsches from them, Boxsters and everything. Used to love my Boxsters. In fact, if you look back at my videos, I've actually filmed, I think, almost the last few years of collecting my Porsches from Porsche Nottingham, so highly recommend them. There we go. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hit the subscribe button. It does push the video out to YouTube, and it educates people on the true reality of electric car ownership, like just now trying to chuck that. Good grief, the fans have come on, trying to charge my car up and having an error. Listen to this. I don't like the sound of that. I'm going to move away. I'll catch you in a bit. Hit that subscribe button.